Hey Martha, you did get my wedding invitation, right? No need you to respond, but I know you're coming. I already reserved you a seat anyway.
Seriously?
How could I not invite my childhood friend to my wedding? You're coming like it or not.
I didn't even realize who was this for a second. Is this really you, Maya? Yeah, I got the invitation. I'm not attending, so scratch me off the list.
You gotta be kidding me. This is the most important event of the century.
Sorry, but I have something else on that day. I just can't get out of it.
What? No way! You have to! No, I demand that you attend. You seem to have made up your mind that you want nothing to do with me, but I'm not having it. You're attending one way or another. If you don't attend for one reason or another, well, you know what I'm gonna do. I'll tell everyone that you're still fuming from when I took your boyfriend from the way back in high school, and that you're still a childish, pity-minded juvenile.
Wait, could you back up? What are you talking about taking my boyfriend?
Are you seriously asking me that? Didn't you see the name on the wedding invitation?
Yeah, I saw it. First time seeing that name, didn't ring any bells. Where'd you meet this guy?
Whoa, stop right here. Are you for real?
Yeah, for real. Why so surprised?
Oh, wait a second, I get it. You're pretending like you don't know the guy, and somehow you use that reason to get out of attending. Is that it?
Please, Maya, I don't have time for this. Have you taken any leave of your senses?
What are you saying? I'm deranged? You're the one who's not making any senses, Martha. Why are you trying so hard to erase the fact that I took your guy in high school? I don't see why you don't just accept the fact. It was a long time ago, for God's sake. That's why I call taking leave of your senses, if you ask me.
Sorry, Maya. It's no use talking to you. Anyway, like I said, I'm busy on that day. I can't attend. End of the story. I can't reschedule. I just can't.
What could be more important than your childhood friend's wedding? At least tell me that.
Important enough that I turned down the invitation. Is that so hard to accept?
Come on, be a pal, for old time's sake.
I better get going. See ya.
I'm not giving up, Martha.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna have your place ready for you no matter what. I knew you were going to come. I just knew it. I had no doubt in my mind that you would show up. I can read you like a book, Martha. When you get all beady-eyed about something, you won't give up until your curiosity is satisfied. In other words, you were so eager to find out about your ex-boyfriend that you had to attend or you couldn't bear it. Am I right? Aren't I? I was positive you would show up, no matter how hard-nosed you were about not attending.
Maya, you again? What is it this time?
Just thought you may be sweating bullets right now. Don't you see your name in the register at the entrance, right? Well, Martha, have news for you. What a total clown show to see you coming snooping around just to see your ex-beau from high school. Who's going to be my everlasting partner in like 10 minutes? Just leave the wedding gift at the reception desk. So sorry, no seat for you. I know I said I would have one ready no matter what, but surprise, I lied.
Oh yeah, about that.
So how much did you bring as a wedding gift? Of course, it doesn't even mean I'll prepare a seat for you.
No need to worry about that. Why should the bride bring a wedding gift?
Pardon me?
My ex-beau, as you put it, you must mean my ex-boyfriend from high school. We had our ups and downs through the years, of course, but we somehow worked things out. We even started living together 2 years ago, and we finally made it to this day, our wedding day.
Pardon me? Martha, you're being incoherent. You do realize that, right? I'm seriously starting to worry about your mental state, Martha. You say you were living with him for 2 years? That's nuts, because I was the one living with him the past few years. And what's this about you being the bride?
I'm sorry. I really should have figured it out. You saw me at the wedding hall, but still failed to make head or tail of the situation.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Get to the point, would you?
I just figure out my name is really not that common. Our family names were on the wedding list at the entrance to the wedding hall.
What? Wedding list?
You do know that there are other weddings taking place here today. After all, that's what a wedding hall is. Or did you think you guys were the only people having a wedding here? Anyway, there's the board out front that shows all the weddings taking place today. I saw yours there, by the way.
I only noticed mine out there, to be honest.
Didn't even glance at it, huh? Figures?
Come to think of it, the wedding planner did mention that there would be another wedding on the second floor. The second floor chapel is supposed to be twice as big and much more extravagant than the one on the first floor, which is pretty tiny in comparison.
That's the one. Finally, worked it out. That's our wedding, the one on the second floor.
Pardon me?
Actually, I was shocked to learn that we were having our weddings at the very same wedding hall. Who would have thought? What a twist of fate, huh? But we sure were lucky that our invitations didn't screw up, huh? Considering we've known each other for so long, our invitations were mostly business related, so maybe that's why I guess this answers your questions on why I couldn't attend your wedding. With that said, let's focus on the proceeding of our own respective weddings, why don't we? What do you say? Talk to you again.
Wait, are you nuts? What is this? What's this all about? I'll tell you this right now, Martha. My husband-to-be is not going to be yours. He's not going upstairs to marry you. You're out of your damn mind. You're his ex-flame. He's mine now. Can't you get it through that little head of yours, Martha? He loves me, not you. You must be totally delusional to go out and reserve a wedding hall and invite all those guests, and to reserve that huge chapel upstairs. You're a total disgrace. He's not dropping me and going upstairs to marry you. You're going to be standing at the altar all alone, twiddling your thumbs. Give it up, Martha. I win. Martha, pick up right this minute. What the hell is going on here? The groom didn't show up to my wedding. Didn't you even notice your now husband is a completely different person? What's about that?
Oh, so the wedding planner explained everything to you in detail, I see. I asked the wedding staff to make sure you didn't barge into my wedding by mistake. Sure glad I went to the trouble. I didn't want to mention that I was having the wedding on the same day. I didn't plan it that, by the way. Didn't want taking it the wrong way and causing you to react negatively, as you tend to do.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
About this ex-boyfriend that you supposedly stole from me, that story just didn't mesh with mine. So I asked a friend of mine who went to high school hoping she would enlighten me. That guy you were supposed to marry, wasn't his name Dwayne Peterson?
That's right, so what?
My husband's name is Daniel, Dan Peters. The names kinda sound alike, so I figured out maybe there was some sort of misunderstanding, name-wise.
Huh? You still have me at a lose, Martha. What is this? Some kind of joke?
All right. Let me explain. As you know, I went to East Memorial High School.
Yeah, obviously, and that's where I took your boyfriend, Dwayne Peterson. I say it now, but the reason why I took him from you is because I couldn't stand it with you to get a guy before me. That's why.
Dwayne was attending the daytime classes, right? I was only a part-time student. I was attending the evening classes. So actually, I never met Dwayne Peterson. Not even sure what he looks like, to be honest.
What are you talking about, part-time student?
We were pretty good friends up until junior high, but once we got into high school, we weren't that close anymore. Maybe that's why you didn't know my situation. Right before high school, my dad passed away, and I had to move in with my grandparents the next town over. It was hard times back then with my father gone. I had to take on a part-time job to help my mom out. That's why I was forced to attend the evening classes on a part-time basis. That's where I met Dan, this guy I married today.
Are you serious? This seems so far-fetched. Wait a minute. That name Dan Peters kinda sound familiar. Could it be tri-same guy that was on the news a few months back? Something about rescuing his dad's company, which was on the verge of bankruptcy. By restructuring the whole company and introducing unique ideas, that guy?
Oh yeah, that was when the piece aired on the popular variety program a few months back.
That's not fair.
Excuse me?
This kind of means that if I hadn't mistaken your boyfriend, if I hadn't sold Dan instead of Dwayne, then I would have been standing at the altar upstairs instead of you. Why is that you get all the breaks? Why do you get to marry someone super successful guy? Why? It's just not fair.
There you go again. Totally not making a bit of sense. The only reason you made this mistake is because you didn't properly verify anything. Maybe you should have put more thought into it before you went ahead. This is not my fault. I mean, think about it, Maya. You spent the last 10 years thinking that you stole my boyfriend from me. You never doubted it for 1 second? You dug your own grave, Maya. No one is to blame but yourself. Don't shift the blame to me, like I said. I have nothing to do with your delusions.
But it's just unfair. It's not right.
Listen, Maya. There's something really important that you're completely forgetting.
What are you talking about?
Did you say that your wedding was cancelled because Dwayne didn't show up? Did you ever get hold of Dwayne?
He's...
Before you start bombarding me with messages online, it seems you have a lot other stuff to worry about.
I've got plenty of worries, thank you. What are you talking about anyway?
Don't you need to talk to the guy about the consequences of not showing up? Could you mean you're eligible for damages or who's gonna pay for the wedding? I mean, it isn't cheap, I should know.
Yeah, you're right. What am I gonna do? I just gotta find that jerk. Martha, if you're there, pick up. Lend me $50,000, I beg you.
Stop right there, Maya. Calm down for a second. Say again.
I need $50,000. I have to pay for half of the wedding.
That's why you need $50,000?
Not that I'm bragging or anything, but I heard that your wedding was
on a smaller scale than mine. Why would you need $50,000 if you're splitting the cost?
No, it's not just the wedding. That also includes the amount I have to my boss's wife.
Huh? Why do you have to pay that? It has nothing to do with your wedding. Hold on a second. Don't tell me you're having an affair with a boss's wife.
I didn't figure out she would,
Oh my god. Impeccable timing, Maya. Right when you scheduled your wedding, she finds out about the affair, and now this.
It wasn't supposed to be this way.
Incidentally, did you find out what happened to Dwayne and why didn't he show up to the wedding?
I finally got a hold of him. Apparently, he was also cheating on me. He came to the conclusion that he loved the other woman more and decided to marry her instead. Can you believe it?
Good gracious. Sounds like something with a soap opera.
And it turns out that because we were both cheating on each other, neither of us could sue for damages. As for the wedding cost, we had to split that. In addition that I have to pay damages to my boss's wife.
I see. So that's why your debt ballooned to $50,000, is that it?
Yeah, so you'll do it, right? That $50,000, your husband's successful guy, the president of a company. What's a measly $50,000, right?
Good grief, Maya. You have to be kidding me.
Huh? Why not? That's like chump change to you.
I'm not the CEO of the company. My husband is. I can't just use the funds whenever I want.
Then why wouldn't you just ask him? He'll do anything you say.
I think no. No matter how many times you ask, not in a million years.
But I have no one else to turn to. My folks slammed the door on me and I already broke up with my boss. Come on, Martha, for old time's sake. We were best friends at one time, weren't we? So please.
There's one thing you got right. We were friends. That's past tense. After junior high, I stopped considering you a friend.
Please, Martha, don't say that.
I think I'm officially getting dizzy. Gotta go. See ya. Childhood relationships can last forever, but only if circumstances remain cordial. Just because we live down the street from each other doesn't mean we're friends for life. She always dragged me into her selfish antics until I just got totally fed up and wanted nothing to do with her. I later heard from one of Maya's friends, seems she's really in dire circumstances. For starters, she got kicked out of the apartment that she was sharing with Dwayne after she said her parents want nothing to do with her, so going home wasn't an option. The only option was to get a small one-room apartment over one Market Street for something like $200 a month. As for her job, she invited a bunch of people from the office, and considering what went down at the wedding, she wasn't exactly welcomed back by her co-workers. I heard she eventually resigned and is now working various part-time jobs. According to a friend, she's living a theater bar life, just barely trying to make ends meet.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, what gives? Would you mind explaining why you didn't do the dishes this morning? You've done nothing but slack off today. You didn't even clean the bathtub. Or the toilets. They're covered in dust and smell awful. Ugh, you are so useless. I don't even know why we keep you around here. Oh, hello there, Emily. I wasn't expecting to get a message from you this time of day. I suppose this means you've already gotten home from work then? Stop dodging the issue. Why haven't you done any of your chores? Don't even think about telling me you forgot about them. I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Do I really have to explain it to you again? I go to work. You do not. That means you need to be doing all the housework since you're not pulling any weight in the house. Now get off your lazy rear end and start scrubbing right now. Emily, I just moved in with you two yesterday. Is this really anything to be getting so angry at me about? Excuse me? And besides, I am working. I may not be as busy as I used to be, but I am still working, so I'm out of the house for at least the morning most days. Who do you think you are? Don't talk back to me like that. Emily, we made the rules very clear before we built this duplex together, don't you remember? We agreed that each of us would do our own chores, me in my unit and you two in yours. And our finances are separate as well. When we built the house, we had separate meters for gas, water, and electricity installed, so we can each pay for just what we use on our own. Of course, we're family and will most assuredly be there for each other in difficult times, and anytime you need me to look after Roy for you, I'd be glad to babysit him. Those were the rules that we decided on after a long and open discussion between the three of us, right? Whatever, I'm tired of this conversation.
Hey Mom, sorry to bother you on your lunch break. Do you have a minute?
Sure, Isaac, what can I do for you?
Did you have anything on your schedule for next weekend?
Next weekend? Let me think. No, I don't believe I have anything going on then. Why's that?
Okay, then what would you say to all of us going on a short little vacation as a family?
A vacation sounds lovely. What's the occasion?
Actually, one of my coworkers won a vacation in some kind of drawing, and he was planning on taking his family on an overnight resort stay. But I guess one of his kids got sick and is going to be in the hospital for a few weeks now, so they can't go anymore.
Oh, that's terribly unfortunate. I hope the child is all right.
The trip voucher had to be used within a specific time period, and it's too late now to change the reservation date, so he offered to pass the tickets to me if I was interested. Since the tickets were for 4 people, it works out perfectly that you, me, Emily, and Roy can all go together. The one little snag is that I have work on Saturday morning that I can't get out of, so you guys will be going there with just the 3 of you, and I'll be meeting up with you later on that day.
So, me, Emily, and Roy will all go in the morning then?
Yeah, that's the way it will work out. What do you think? I thought it would be a great opportunity for you and Emily to improve your relationship. You said the 2 of you were having difficulties, right? Since Roy will be there, and you know how much he loves you, it could be a great bonding experience for you two.
You know, I think you may be right. Sure, Isaac, I'd love to go along. Thank you for the invitation.
Alright, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll let you know the specifics once everything is set in stone. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Isaac. I'll be waiting. Hey, Mom. Sorry for the late notice, but I have something important to tell you about the vacation tomorrow. I see. What is it, Emily? I forgot to tell you that our departure time got changed. Ah, all right. Oh, thank you for letting me know. We were planning to leave the house at 7 a.m. and drive to the airport in order to make the 8 a.m. flight. But the flight we were booked on got canceled, and they rescheduled us for a flight at 10:15 a.m. instead. So we're going to be leaving the house at around 9 a.m. that morning. One more thing, though. I need to stop by Roy's friend's house to pick up a toy he left behind the last time he had a play date there. So could you meet us at the airport at 9:30 a.m.? All right, that sounds fine. I'll give you your tickets to the airport tomorrow. Thanks, Emily. See you in the morning. Hello? Emily, where are you? I just got to the airport and I'm waiting at the gate like you said. But I can't find you or Roy anywhere. Did something come up? Are you running late? Well, good morning, Mother Dearest. Actually, Roy and I already left on the 8 a.m. flight. We just landed a few minutes ago. What? What's going on? Last night you told me that the 8 a.m. flight was canceled and we were going to go on the 10:15 flight instead. You really don't get it, do you? I told you the wrong time on purpose. Did you really think I was going to let you come with us on this vacation? Get real. This is a family vacation and you're not my family. You're my mother-in-law, not my real mother. Now be a good old maid and give me some money to use on your grandson and crawl back home to your rocking chair. I don't can't believe this. How could you do this to me? It was easy. Anyway, I know you've got my bank account number, so just wire the money there. Got it? Don't worry, I'll spend most of it on Roy. He's got a birthday coming up, and it's not like you need the money for anything, so go ahead and wire me a couple $1,000s. That should be enough for now. I was looking forward to this vacation. I wanted to spend time getting closer to you. I know we've had a difficult relationship up until now, but I thought this would be our chance to come to understand each other better. I thought we were all going to make some wonderful memories together as a family.
You must have missed it before, so I'll say it again. You're not my family. You're my mother-in-law, not my real mom. This is a family vacation, so only family can come. And I thought you were aware of this, but since you seem so oblivious, I might as well tell you that the only reason I agreed to the duplex was because you got that massive life insurance policy when your husband died. I figured you'd be tossing money at Roy left and right. So, to summarize, I see you as nothing but an ATM for your grandson. You're not invited to this trip. Go back home. The end.
So that's how you see me. At first I was going to move in with Isaac's younger brother and his wife, but they ended up having to move because he got transferred at work. I was so happy at first when Isaac offered to build a duplex together with me. I'd be able to live closer to my grandchild and I'd feel more secure than living by myself.
Okay, so how about you go live with Isaac's brother then? Actually, that would be perfect. Do you want me to call a mover for you? We can have all your stuff out of the house by the time we get back from our vacation.
In any case, I suppose I have no choice but to go back home now.
Just so you don't get any ideas, even if you book another flight and show up at our hotel room, I'm kicking you out on the curb. Got it?
Hey, Mom. I'm almost at the hotel. Sorry I'm coming so late. How are things with you, Emily and Roy?
Isaac.
Did you guys enjoy your afternoon at the music park?
Isaac, I'm not at the hotel. I'm at home.
Wait, what? Why? Didn't you get on the plane with Emily and Roy in the morning? Did something happen? Are you okay?
Emily told me that the flight was canceled and that we were getting on a flight at 10 instead. When I messaged her later, she told me that she had lied because she didn't want me to come.
She did what?
She also told me to wire her some money to use on Roy during the trip, but I'm sorry, I haven't been able to get around to it yet. I stopped at a convenience store on the way back to pick up some food for lunch, and, well, here I am.
I don't believe this. What on earth is she thinking?
From the way you're talking, it at least sounds like you weren't in on it, in any case.
Of course I wasn't. I'm gonna have a little talk with Emily about this. Give me some time and I'll take care of it.
All right, but whatever you do, be sure that you don't get in any sort of argument in front of Roy, okay?
I know. I'll wait until it's nap time. I'll message you later on tonight.
Hey, are you there? I can't find Isaac or Roy anywhere. Do you have any idea where they might be?
Emily? Are you still at the hotel? Isaac just got back to the house with Roy about an hour ago.
They did? So, wait a minute. I'm all alone out here now? They abandoned me?
Well, like I said, they just got home, and I haven't heard any specific details, but yes, it does appear so.
Is this your doing? What did you say to Isaac?
Nothing, really. I just told him that you gave me the wrong time for the plane on purpose in order to keep me from coming with you on the trip is all.
That's not nothing. Why couldn't you have just told him that you got sick and couldn't go or something? You're making it sound like I'm the bad guy.
Emily, dear, I'd say an objective reading of the situation would lead to the conclusion that, yes, in fact, you are the bad guy.
What did you just say?
Did you think that Isaac would let you get away with a thing like this? That he would just take your side unquestioningly?
Well, duh, he's my husband. Plus, I didn't even do anything wrong. You're the one that's in the wrong.
We were going to have a fun, carefree vacation, just the three of us, but you butted in and invited yourself along. And now, thanks to you, I'm all alone in this hotel room. Emily, you're under the completely wrong impression. Isaac is the one who invited me along on the vacation. I didn't invite myself. Are you serious? If you or Isaac had told me beforehand that you wanted to have a vacation with just the three of you, I would have understood. I'm not so presumptuous as to invite myself along to other people's vacations. But Isaac never told me that. Isaac thought, and I agreed, that this would be the perfect chance for us to get to know each other better, to finally have a positive relationship with each other. But now I've made my decision. I'm leaving my estate to Isaac's younger brother. Wait a minute. Estate? I do suppose it's a bit early to be talking about my estate, but you deserve to know my intentions. I'm actually the chairman of the board of 4 different companies. 4? I thought you were unemployed. They were originally my father's companies, and when he passed away, he left his majority stake in each of them to me. It's been a while since I've seen the numbers, but I believe my stock holdings alone amount to around 5 million? 5 million? So that's going to get split up between the two brothers, right? Isaac's younger brother and his wife are going through a training program designed by me in order to equip them to effectively run the companies in the future. Obviously, as the firstborn, I talked to Isaac about this first, but he said he had other interests, and I gave him my blessing to pursue them. His words were, "Don't worry, Mom. I'm going to forge my own path in life. You can leave everything to him." He said that? Is he insane? What kind of psychopath would turn down a $5 million inheritance? What's wrong with him? There is nothing wrong with him. He's a fine, upstanding man who takes good care of you, Roy, and me. Perhaps you might recognize that if you would think about someone other than yourself for a change. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I wish things could have turned out differently than they did, Emily. Mom, you have to do something. I don't want to get divorced. What's that? Do something about this. Talk to your son. He says that he's going to divorce me and then he's going to work with his lawyer to make sure that I lose custody of Roy. He's going to move into your side of the duplex. You have to talk him out of this. Ah, so that's what was going on. I was curious why I came home from work today to find my guest room full of boxes of Isaac's things all around the bed. Well, now you know why, so hurry up and do something about it. From what Isaac has told me over the last several days, not only have you not shown any semblance of remorse for what you did, but you've been trying your hardest to encourage Isaac to quit his job and take back my inheritance from his brother, including a presentation on a house that you could buy with the $5 million? What was I supposed to do? There was no way he could have been in his right mind turning down $5 million. I figured if I showed him the kind of lifestyle that much money could afford, he'd change his mind. Emily, I have to say, I'm disappointed, but painfully unsurprised. First of all, the decision of my estate is as of yet undecided. Nothing is set in stone yet. Didn't you say you were going to give it to Isaac's brother, though? I've consulted with various financial advisors over the past several years, and presently I'm intending to divide my estate evenly between my 2 sons. However, how that division ultimately pans out is something for them to discuss between themselves. Oh, then why didn't you just say that in the first place? That would have saved me a ton of grief. Oh, do you suddenly have a problem with critical information being kept from you? That's exactly what you did to me when you lied about the plane being canceled. I wanted to see how you'd respond if I only told you the size of my estate and Isaac's intentions. So, this was all a test? Yes, and you failed miserably. Oh no. You can ask Isaac for more details. But that has nothing to do with our divorce. I don't want to get divorced. You need to do something. Talk to Isaac. Tell him that a divorce would be bad for Roy. Whatever you need to do. After this past week's events, I'm not entirely sure having a mother like you in the picture would be a good thing for Roy at all, Emily.
Please!
I've said my piece, and I have nothing to say to you ever again. I hope you one day learn to care about someone other than yourself.
Mom, no!
Goodbye, Emily. Hey, Isaac, I changed my mind. Sure, let's get divorced.
Wow. Okay. So that's that, I guess. Go ahead and sign the divorce papers I sent you and take them to the courthouse whenever you can.
Sure thing. I'll head over there right now. Okay, it's all done. I just got back from the courthouse, so we're officially divorced. Wire me my share of the assets as soon as you can. I'm pretty sure you still have my bank account information.
What are you talking about?
Don't pretend like you don't know. I can do math. Since your mom's estate is $5 million and you get half, that means you get $2.5 million. That means that since we're divorced, I get half of that. So you owe me $1.25 million. I'm planning on using that to pay the bills while I look for a new job, so send it to me as soon as possible. Got it?
Why did I have to marry someone as stupid as you? My mom's not dead yet, you moron.
So?
Do you even know how inheritance works, Emily? As long as she's alive, it's all still hers, and she's perfectly healthy. How do you not know this?
Wait, really?
And besides, assets gained through inheritance aren't subject to property division during a divorce. God, you're an idiot.
Oh no. Okay, then I changed my mind. We're not getting divorced after all.
Don't you think it's a little too late for that? You just said that you had already turned in the divorce papers at the courthouse.
Uh-oh. Man, this sucks. What am I gonna do now? Emily and Isaac's divorce was finalized just a few days after our final conversation. After considering Emily's behavior and its potential impact on Roy, the family court sided with Isaac and granted him full custody. It went far more smoothly than I expected, for us at least. Isaac realized in that last message to Emily that she was under an enormous misconception about how the property division would work, which is too bad for her, but thanks to that misconception, she consented to the divorce far quicker than I thought she would. After the divorce, Emily tried to move back in with her parents, but they threw her out. She's now living in a tiny apartment and working the night shift at a local dive bar. Her parents came by our house a few days later to apologize for her behavior. According to them, Emily had worked up quite a bill at the local host club as she was planning on being able to use my estate to pay it off. So it seems like she's going to be working off that debt for some time. I do hope that she learns her lesson and turns her life around, though.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Naomi. How was school today?
You again, Dad. Would you stop sending me texts? No job, and on top of that, sick as a dog and sitting in a hospital bed. What good are you?
As your father, I'm just worried about my daughter, that's all. Can't you even afford me that?
Then, can I ask you something? Why are you breaking up with Mom?
Well, that's obvious, isn't it? She cheated on me. As husband and wife, I just couldn't go on living with her. That's why. And please understand that I thought about not going through with it because of you, but...
No need to worry about that.
Why's that?
Mom's new guy, I had a good look at them. He's pretty cool. Good looking, unlike some people I know. If that guy's gonna be my new dad, a divorce wouldn't be all that bad.
You do realize that she cheated on me, right? How could you say that to me?
Well, Mom and Randy love each other. They'll be happy. What's wrong with that? Why do you want to mess things up for them? I'd rather have Randy as my dad instead of some sick and weak dad, currently hospitalized to boot. Besides, I heard Randy is on his way up at his firm. His life is just beginning.
So you prefer this Randy than your real dad? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. This guy's in his prime. He's headed for success, rich and good looking. What more can you ask for? He's not only super kind to Mom, but he goes out of his way to buy things for me, too. Takes me out to nice restaurants and shopping. Did you ever do that for me? Just the other day, he bought me some really expensive perfume. Didn't expect that.
As I recall, he has an annual income of $150,000 or so.
That's right. Can you believe it? Way better than an unemployed, middle-aged guy who's sick and in the hospital. That's for sure. That's one reason she started going out with Randy. She couldn't stand taking care of you.
But does she really love the guy? Do you really think that this Randy loves you guys? You really think he'll make you happy?
Mom and I are going to be happy, so please, Dad, stay out of our way. Hey, Dad, I got into medical school.
That's great, Wendy. Congratulations. Did you call Mom and let her know the good news? She was going on and on about it.
I sent her a text online. I think she's right in the middle of doing her rounds.
All right. She'll be so happy when she sees it.
Yeah, I know. Ever since you and Mom got married, everything seems to come together. You know, one good fortune after another.
You have other good fortunes come your way, huh?
Oh yeah, just the other day, I won the second prize of a competition I entered, and I was also able to meet up with a really good friend of mine. We lost contact with each other for some reason or other. Hadn't seen her in like 10 years. And today, I passed the med entrance exam. Now I call that karma.
Yeah, but it was not only luck that got you into med school. You worked hard for this. Can't remember when you weren't hitting the books late at night. I'd say 99% work, 1% luck.
You did most of the chores around the house too, which gave me time to study. I appreciated that, Dad.
Well, I'm glad I was able to be of assistance. It was the least I could do for my daughter. But maybe it's me that's benefiting from all this luck.
Really? You too, huh?
Yeah, well, 5 years ago I fell very ill. I was hospitalized for a while. Figured my wife would look after me, but it ended in divorce. You heard all this before.
I remember. Your wife and daughter left you when you most needed them. I remember being really angry when I heard that. My parents got divorced after my dad cheated on Mom. Mom wasn't working at the time. We had a really tough time. But I really couldn't forgive my dad for being unfaithful to Mom. I couldn't fathom leaving Mom and going with my dad. It just didn't cross my mind, and in the end, I know I made the right decision.
You're absolutely right, Wendy. You did make the right decision. That's why I was in shock when they left me for some guy, because I thought that was the decent thing to do. I was in total despair then, sitting in the hospital, all alone, abandoned by my wife and daughter. And that's when I met your mom. She was my doctor at the time. After I was released from the hospital, we kept in touch and eventually started dating. I got to know you too, and well, you seemed to accept me as your mom's new partner, and as you know, we got hitched. It was a real 180. I didn't expect such an outcome after what I'd experienced.
I remember Mom saying that she fell in love with your determination to turn your life around and to show them that you could get out of that demoralized state you were in. I can't imagine the dismay you must have felt.
That was because your mom gave me encouragement. She lifted my spirit every step of the way, and you certainly gave me plenty of inspiration. I hope you will keep inspiring me, Wendy. I'm glad you're my daughter. I mean it.
I'm glad you're my dad, Dad. Hey, Dad. Naomi here. Been like 5 years, huh?
Is this Naomi?
Hey, I heard you married a doctor. Seriously?
Where'd you hear that?
My dad's friend heard about it when he visited that hospital you stayed at years ago. She was your doctor when you were there, right? I heard she's a real beauty. Sick in bed and you still had the urge, huh? A real ladies' man. Didn't think you had it in you, Dad.
You guys left me 5 years ago. You have no business prying into how I lead my life now.
No business? That's where you're mistaken, Dad. You caused all that trouble for us, but still you end up being the happy one. Give me a break.
How did I cause you trouble? What the hell are you talking about?
You left us, that's what you did.
Are you saying I was the one who abandoned you?
That's right. After all these years, you never paid us child support. For my education, I demand $200,000 for all the years you've cut us off.
To be honest, I thought it was you and your mom that abandoned me. Left me high and dry for another guy. Anyway, I paid your child support 5 years ago. She asked for a one-time payment, and I agreed. I also asked for shared custody, but I was refused, and I never saw or heard from you until just now. All I was left to do was to accept the fact that I had fulfilled my obligations as a father by paying your mother. That's all I could do as a father. And now you appear asking for money?
The pittance you paid 5 years ago? That disappeared a long time ago.
I paid your mother $500 a month until you were 21, and in addition paid a lump sum of $25,000.
That's chicken feed.
You're not a kid anymore, Naomi. You don't need my help.
I need more than that, so pay up. But you're my father. Age makes no difference. What's wrong with the father helping out his daughter? That's what a loving parent would do.
That $25,000 was adequate payment in my opinion.
Like I said, slave wages, way too insufficient.
Are you saying that because you can't pay your tuition or something? Is that it?
I quit college after a year.
You quit college? Why'd you do that?
I got totally fed up with all that studying.
Then why don't you work? That would be the normal course of action.
Yeah, but Randy bought me all kinds of stuff and there was really no need to work.
Randy, huh? Is your mom still going out with the guy? Did they even get married?
Yeah, they got married, but they broke up recently.
Excuse me? They're not together anymore?
He made some bad business decisions and, well, long story short, his income went downhill. Mom was looking for another guy and Randy found out about it. One thing led to another.
And she got divorced. Yeah, well, figures.
And that apartment we were living in, Randy owns that, so we had no choice but to move out. But what's worse, we went to Mom's new boyfriend's house and a big argument ensued, and in the end, he wouldn't let us in. That relationship ended on his doorstep. We had no choice but to move into a cheap hotel downtown. We have paid the hotel cost every day we stay here, and it gets expensive after a while, as you can imagine. If you have any feelings of duty to your daughter, fork over $200,000 as child support.
Like I said, I paid all that 5 years ago. My obligation to you ended there. And for your information, I don't have that kind of money.
That's BS. You married a doctor, for God's sake. She's loaded.
That may be, but that's not my money. I can't use it without her permission.
Yeah, sure. So you're telling me that your wife is supporting you. Is that it? After you got sick 5 years ago, you lost your job, right? So now your wife pays the bills, huh? You really hit the jackpot.
I work from home. I'm fully employed. Luckily, I was at the company long enough to learn some very important skills, which I'm putting to good use now.
Okay, so you have no problem forking over that 200 thou.
Naomi, why don't you just leave your mom and strike out on your own? Make something of yourself.
No way! I adore my mom. She's the best.
Seriously, Naomi? You want to be like your mom?
Of course. She lives like she prefers, buys whatever she wants, goes out with whomever she likes. She lives her life the way she wants to. She symbolizes freedom.
Freedom just sounds like selfishness to me. Do you really think that she symbolizes freedom and that it brings you happiness?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Happiness is not having to work and living free, doing whatever your heart's desire. Freedom is not being tied down by anything or anybody, right? There is no need to tolerate anyone's BS. That's what Mom always says.
Are you okay with that, Naomi? You feel the same way?
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm demanding that you pay up. What's wrong with that? The normal thing to do is support your daughter. No matter how old she is, if you're my father, you have the obligation to pay up. So pay up.
Naomi, you're despicable. How did you turn out this way?
Pardon me? Despicable? How can you say that about your daughter? This is Naomi, right? Sorry to contact you from my dad's phone. My name is Wendy. I'm your dad's stepdaughter. Huh? Excuse me? You're my dad's what? Stepdaughter. There was something I needed to convey to you. Yeah, what is it? Make it quick, would ya? I'm busy. Would you stop with this give me money bullshit? You're getting on my friggin' nerves. What did you just say? I said be gone, would you? You're being a total pest. I will not permit you to belittle my father. You just crossed my red line. Are you being totally serious? He's my father, not Step. That gives me the right to talk about my dad however I please. So there, you come in out of nowhere, call him Dad, and think you own the world? You're totally out of line, girl. You abandoned your sick father 5 years ago and chose to live with your mother. And you lived the last 5 years calling her boyfriend your dad. At this point, this Randy guy is your real dad. Excuse me. Mom just got a new boyfriend. That's why they got divorced. What's so hard about understanding that? Besides, if I had chosen to be with my dad when he fell ill, it would have been tough. I didn't want to go through that. The decision to go with my mom and Randy was the right one. Who wouldn't make that decision? It's obvious. Nobody wants to go through hard times. How could you say that? Are you really his daughter? Your dad fell ill and he needed major surgery and a long recovery process. Do you really think he wanted to resign from the company? He worked hard at his job. Besides his family, his job meant the world to him. Don't you have any remorse or regrets for abandoning your father when he was in need? Remorse? Regrets? Seriously? Don't make me laugh. Dad's a loser. He can't make any money. He can't satisfy a woman. What good is he? Is that why he married a doctor? Oh, I get it now. What the hell are you trying to say? Dad was just looking for the right woman to con. Huh, didn't realize he was such a womanizer. Please, your father is not that kind of person. Please don't compare him to you. Say what you like about him, but facts are facts. When you abandoned your father 5 years ago and adopted this Randy as your dad, you forfeited all rights as his real daughter. He's my father now, and I wish you would just leave him be and get the hell out of our lives. You really have nerve saying that to me. Just because you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth doesn't give you the right to talk to me that way. Who gave you the right to be happy? I want some of that happiness too. Then work your butt off a little. Work somewhere, go back to school, get some kind of license. Don't rely on others. Pull up your bootstraps and get going. You're still young. You have plenty of time. You just have to work hard. That's all. I don't have to work hard. That's too much of a hassle. All I have to do is look for a rich guy and I'm set. Do you really think that jumping from one guy to the next is going to bring you happiness? I'm not jumping from one guy to the next. I find one super rich guy that will take care of me, and I never have to work for the rest of my life. Is that so hard for you to understand? If a guy can't make the money, the guy's a goner. A real guy will provide for his wife and family no matter what. He must provide for everything they ask for. That's called happiness. If you don't know that, I feel pity for you. You really believe that, don't you? Of course I do. Women have the right to live free without any restraints. Mom says that all the time. I bet you want some guy to take care of you someday, am I right? I don't have time for that. I start medical school next semester. Pardon me, medical school? Yes, I'm going to follow my mother's footsteps. I'm working day and night to fulfill my dream of becoming a doctor, like my mother. But... You got it all wrong, Naomi. Happiness is obtained by loving and caring for each other, to grow together through thick and thin, unwaveringly. Medical school, so what? So you guys do have plenty of money. I'm tired of this BS. Switch back to Dad, would you? If he has the money to pay for your education, then he has the money to pay his real daughter some cash. You're just a fake, made-up daughter anyways.
Naomi, this is your ex-father.
Ex-father? What are you talking about? I'm sick of repeating myself. Just pay the child support, would you? This is getting silly. If you're going to pay to send your pseudo-daughter to med school, maybe $200,000 is chicken feed. Maybe we should make it $300,000. Yeah, that sounds about right. No, wait, 400,000 big ones.
No matter what you say, Naomi, you're not getting a cent from me. Goodbye.
Wait, Dad, you can't.
I would be lying if I said I didn't care at all about my own daughter, but if I even relented to 1 cent, I wouldn't know how to face Wendy. She spoke up on my behalf. I didn't want to put her through any more anguish than necessary. As for my former spouse, she apparently went from one guy to another, always on the lookout for someone rich and well off. As for Naomi, she apparently learned from her mom and found several guys, but some of them turned out to be married. She was subsequently sued by the wives and made to pay a hefty sum for her misdeeds. The hardships accumulated for my ex, and she eventually lost all her former vitality and started staying home more and more. Naomi realized that she had to work if she was to survive. I heard she's currently working several jobs to make ends meet and to support her mother.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.